Hello everyone. Yesterday's class we discussed about what are the object-oriented analysis design diagrams. Among all those diagrams, we saw categories of the diagrams available there. From that categories, two categories, we are having static diagrams, first one. Second one is dynamic diagrams. Static diagram is simply called as structural diagrams, whereas if you take dynamic diagrams simply called as behavioral diagrams. So from the static diagrams we observed that four types of diagrams are there. From those four types of diagrams we already seen in the previous classes. Those diagrams are object diagram and the class diagram. From these two diagrams will only represent the skeleton of the project or skeleton of the system. So see here, in this object-oriented analysis design, the major diagram, skeletonized representation diagram is this class diagram. First diagram is class diagram. So see this class diagram. Now we will see what is a class, what is the class diagram representation. If time permits us, we will go through the relationships also. Okay. So see, class diagram. Classes, in the class diagram having different classes, some attributes, operations, relationships and semantics of the particular class. So see here, class diagram contains classes. First we have to learn about the classes. Right. See, classes are the most important building blocks of an object-oriented system. We all know C++ language and Java language. Moreover, that recently you learned about the Python language also. There we studied class. Here, object-oriented analysis system, the major building blocks of the object-oriented system is classes. Classes, only the building blocks of an object-oriented system. Building blocks of an object-oriented system, right? A class is a description of a set of objects that share the same attributes, operations, relationships and also the semantics also available in the class, right? A class implements one or more interfaces. Some classes you may give the relationships two or more classes, you combinedly together have some links related to that class is also used, right? Classes are used to capture the vocabulary of the system you are developing. Suppose if you want to develop an airline system software, for that system you will be having some vocabulary, documentation. From the documentation you establish and you found what kind of classes you are having to find. You may think what type of objects available for that particular system. Whatever system you may take, with that system you have to found the vocabulary available in the document, right? Next, classes may include different kind of abstraction, different kind of diagrams or different kind of information available in that particular document. You also aware of the document, see the information, right? Next, class diagram contain classes, first of all, classes, right? The UML provides a graphical representation of class is like this. Graphical representation of the class, right? Class. So see, the graphical representation class is this in this shape. Not only three parts, another part is also there. Another part is also there for the class. This is responsibilities. Responsibilities is also available in the end of the class, right? See, class having a name, every class having unique name, and every class have some attributes. Every class some have operations. Some simply you call methods. Methods is nothing but an operation of the particular class. Right. The responsibility will tell the what is the actual operation meaning is performed with that particular class. You simply say that, right? So this is the graphical representation of the class in object-oriented analysis system, right? Next, from this graphical representation, the very first one is name of the class. We will explain name, attributes, responsibilities, and methods from the one by one, right? This class diagram contains class name. See, a class is a description of a set of objects, that share the same attributes, operations, and relationships, and also semantics of the particular class, right? The name. Every class has unique name. Every class must have a name that distinguishes it from each other. No same name classes are available, So every class have distinguishes name, same name. Do not have same, right? So to write a name, simply name is a textual string. What is the name? Name is a textual string there. That name alone known as a simple name. If you create a class, that class only having the name that do not have any attribute and that do not have any methods and also that do not have any attribute responsibilities. So simple name is like that. This customer is a simple class and wall is also a simple class. Temperature sensor is also a simple class that do not have any other responsibilities, that is methods that do not have any methods. Simple names we know. What is a path name? Path name is there, another name. Path name. A path name is the class name prefixed by the name of the package, whatever the package in which that class lives. Path name will indicate that the scope resolution operator. That scope resolution operator will tell us that where that actually class available package, where that package, that particular class is available. That is available in the path name. See the example of path names. Fraud agent is one class. Where this fraud agent is available, this is available in this particular package. Particular business rules is one package. They are available fraud agent class. So with the help of scope resolution operator, scope, we simply call this as scope resolution operator, available in C++, Python also. Okay. So rectangle is a class which is available in the sub package AWT. This AWT package is available in the Java class. Likewise, you use this kind of path names also. Simple name do not have any operations or do not have any responsibilities. Whereas if you take a path name, you can give the path. Simply say that you can give the path with the help of scope resolution operator. Right. So capitalize the first letter of the every word in a class name. You capitalize the every word. First letter every word in the class. As in customer of temperature sensor, like that customer of temperature sensor in the previous class. Likewise, you can write every class name first letter as a capital letter. Right. Next, attributes. Class contain first name. How do we create a name? We know simple name, and second one is the path name. Second one, attributes. What are attributes? See, an attribute is a named property of a class. What is that attribute? Attribute is a named property of that particular class. A class may have any number of attributes or no attributes at all. Maybe or may not have attributes for the particular class. Simply say that if you create a car is a class, car is a name of the class, car contain different kind of attributes, car color, car shape, likewise attributes is likewise, car shape, car color and many other things are there, we will see later for all the attributes. And attributes represent some property of the thing you are modeling that is shared by all objects of that particular class. Customer has a name, address, phone number and a date of birth. Customer, see, customer is the name, customer is a class name. Here what are the attributes? Customer name is one attribute, address is one attribute, name is one attribute, address is one attribute, phone number and also birth date is also one attribute. All are the attributes. Second part, attributes represents the properties of the class, properties of the class which you are going to design. See, an attribute name may be a text, just like a class name. May be a text, just like a class name you can create as like this also, attribute name. You can write some names as you like. Next, third point of the class is, first one is name, second one is attributes and the third one is operations of the class. Operations of the class. See, an operation is the implementation of a service that can be requested from any object of the class to affect behavior. Some operation is nothing but the work which we have to done for that particular class. See, in other words, an operation is an abstraction of something you can do to an object and that is shared by all objects of the class. A class may have any number of operations or no operations at all. If you create a class, no mandatory if you give operations for that class or you may not give some operations for that class. Or simple name you can create a class also. That is only understandable purpose while we designing any class. So if it requires you can write as you give. Like this also we can write operations of a class. Rectangle is a class name. Rectangle is a class name. So here for rectangle you can write, may write or maybe write attributes in this section. In this section you write attributes. So here you may rectangle addition some operation, grow some operation, move some operation, is empty. All are the operations included to the rectangle class. Right, also you can give simply we may call a function or in object oriented analysis we may call operations or methods. Methods. Remember methods. We are calling these all operations are methods. And the last one is fourth one is the class responsibilities. Class responsibilities. What is the responsibility? What the class can perform actually other than operations. If you use other than operations the responsibilities, you may use to add the responsibility to the existing class also. Okay, right? See, so a responsibility is a contract or an obligation of the class. Responsibilities are translated into a set of attributes and operations that best fulfill the class's responsibilities. So you may give responsibilities, you may add those responsibilities to the attributes also, or you may add the responsibilities to the operations also, as you like, depending upon your thinking. So you may add responsibilities to the any category. Here, write like this. Supplier, what is doing? What is the responsibility of supplier? What is receive the order from the customer, supply the goods to the customer. Responsibilities should be right at the end of the every class, and also the notation is there for responsibilities. Double double underscores or double minus symbols. Okay, double dash symbols should be used here to the responsibilities. This may included by you or you may not included by you. That is your wish to design. This is the additional feature added to the class, right? So see, while we designing the classes, we have to use some modeling techniques are also there. Some modeling, common modeling techniques to design particular classes. You have to think that different some models are there. According to the experts, they developed as like this to model the vocabulary of the system. Identify the things that users to implement, use, describe the problem or solution. So see, if we have a 200 lines of document or 100 lines of document, from all the document you have to write the structure or the vocabulary. With the help of that vocabulary, what kind of diagrams you may draw, you have to think. One can think 10 classes available in that particular problem solution. Another can think 14 classes I found from this document. Another think 4 classes. Depending upon the user requirement or user thinking capability, the classes may be extended or may be decreased depending upon the thinking of each and every person. Suppose you take one person, I give some banking ATM system, developing system to the one person. So I said him, you identify what kind of classes available are there. Maybe his thinking purpose 4 or 5 classes are found. That the same thing I gave to you. What is your thinking? Based on your thinking level, you can give how many classes are available. May not be same for each other. May or may not be same for each other. That is not only implementers thinking. Maybe it is good to design more classes, that is more representative way. So that is the thing. So come to the common modeling techniques. So in previous days they are thinking that one technique is there, class responsibilities collaboration technique, CRC, class responsible collaboration technique are there. In these techniques what they are doing? CRC cards is there and use cases based analysis to help find the abstractions of the different classes. For each abstraction, identify the corresponding responsibilities. See, responsibilities. For each class, provide the attributes or operations which are required to handle the responsibilities. So, class responsibility collaboration. It is a team of 4 members. If you want to create any classes from the designed system, so they will write some vocabulary available in the document. With that based of vocabulary, they will found some their responsibilities and their operations. Depending upon the operations, they have to select some classes. So likewise, model. See this example tells us what is going on. Customer, one class or one vocabulary, abstraction, order, product are the abstractions. A few other relevant abstractions drawn from the vocabulary of the problem. So you found a customer, order and a product. Not only these, so shipment is also there. Shipment. What is shipment? Used to track the order. Invoice. Used to bill orders. And also you may use warehouse, where products are located prior to shipment. So all these are using abstractions or transactions or properties, whatever it may be. Depending upon the system, you can develop. You can develop system depending upon the system and thinking capability of these. These all are available in the retail system. Customer, one class, order, product, shipment, invoice, warehouse. You can write their operations also. You can write their attributes. You may write the responsibilities are also there. If one class contains more responsibilities, that is another one. So those responsibilities may also be divided into 2 more classes. See, modeling the distribution of responsibilities. This is the distribution of responsibilities. To model a system, the abstractions provide balanced set of responsibilities. Balanced set of what this means is that we don't want to any class to be too big or too small. Too big or too. So suppose one class having maybe 7, 9 or 10 responsibilities, you may divide that class into 2 other classes, or you can divide that class into 2 or 3 classes as you like. Likewise also distribution of responsibilities. With the help of distribution of responsibilities also, the more classes are included. More classes are included. Right. Next, the UML is used to help us to visualize and specify this balance of responsibility. See, actually the class may contain only 3 parts. Other than 3 parts is responsibility. Why we write responsibilities? Responsibilities is giving us a note what is going on in that particular class. If that particular class having 2 or more responsibilities, leave. That class can do perfectly. Since that class having 10 or 12 responsibilities, what can we do? That 10 or responsibilities, we can divide the class into 2 or more classes also. Okay. So like this you can create. To model the distribution of responsibilities, what we will do? Identify the set of classes and work together to carry some behavior. Identify same behavior. Okay, some behavior with the help of behavior. Identify the set of responsibilities for each of the classes, depending upon the responsibilities or depending upon the work together classes. You can use split classes that have too many responsibilities. I said already, split classes having too many responsibilities. You have to split that classes. Small abstractions and reallocate responsibilities to that each abstractions as like this. Okay. So see here, model responsibilities like this. View is one class, customer is another class, model is another class. Okay. So modeling distribution of responsibilities is like this. Okay. So for the rest of the summary. So today we discussed UML diagram. First UML diagram, class diagram. Class diagram, what are the symbols available in the class diagram? How to draw the class diagram. Some responsibilities we will see to the later class. Thank you.